A 17-year-old Bondi Junction youth has been arrested after he allegedly threw eggs at pop star Justin Bieber during his Sydney concert last week. The youth was arrested at his Bondi Junction home and taken to Waverley Police Station, where he's been charged with a number of offences, including break and enter. Police made the arrest following a complaint by Ace Arena management. It is alleged the youth gained forced entry into Ace Arena via the roof, and while Bieber was on stage, threw a number of eggs at the performer, missing him. It's further alleged Ace Arena reported the matter to police after becoming aware of particular details of the incident, which had been posted on a social networking site.
The family of a Sydney graffiti vandal jailed yesterday says the magistrate has been too harsh. They say 12 months behind bars is too long for defacing trains, but many others believe the 18-year-old got what he deserved.
They are boys.
Hurry up, Matty.
All juveniles except Matthew Sale. He turned 18 just before this rampage, an adult now doing adult time. A year in prison. His family says it's too much.
He's already served 3 months in there, which is, I think, is long enough for him.
In January, Sale and his graffiti gang even stopped a train.
Get off the track!
At Kingswood, they stole a driver's keys.
You like our pedal bounce?
They defaced the insides of carriages as well at Penrith, Warrington, Richmond.
They're probably trying to make an example of him.
Would that be effective, though? Do you think that would discourage other graffiti vandals from doing what they do?
No. No. It's going to always happen.
It's the second time in 3 months Magistrate Ian McRae has ordered a graffiti vandal be jailed. While Magistrate Ian McRae's graffiti rulings might seem excessive compared to other magistrates, they seem to be right on community expectations, judging by every single commuter we spoke with today.
It's pretty harsh, but it's still fair. I think it should be a bit more than that.
We've got to keep paying to clean it off. It should be zero tolerance with everything.
The opposition agrees.
$100 million a year at present just to clean up the mess, and very few people are caught doing it.
Matthew Sale's family does agree, however, jail can be a good teacher. Will he do it again, do you think?
No.
Robert Ovadia, 7 News.
A jury has been told that former water polo star Kelly Lane had 3 motives to murder baby daughter Tegan, who disappeared in 1996. The prosecution says that the woman fell pregnant 5 times in 7 years and secretly adopted out 2 of her children.
14 years after her newborn daughter vanished, 35-year-old Kelly Lane faces the Supreme Court, charged with her murder.
Good morning, Kelly. How are you feeling today?
The elite water polo player gave birth to Tegan alone at Auburn Hospital on September 12, 1996. 2 days later, she left suddenly, and just hours after being discharged, was caught on camera partying at a friend's wedding. Baby Tegan was never seen again. The Crown prosecutor telling the court, in all probability, the death of Tegan Lane occurred on that day. The court heard Lane also kept the birth of 2 other children secret from her boyfriend, friends and family, and later gave both children up for adoption. Over the course of 7 years, the accused became pregnant no less than 5 times. In fact, she became pregnant 4 times in 5 years. As the Crown prosecutor outlined the police case against her, Kelly Lane cried silently in the dock, her arms awkwardly folded across her waist. The jury was told Kelly Lane had 3 motives for murdering her daughter. First, being a mother would interfere with her active social and sex life. Second, it would ruin her chances of competing at the Olympics. And third, she feared the rejection of her friends and family. Lane has pleaded not guilty to murder and 3 counts of perjury. 14 jurors have been impanelled for the trial, which is expected to hear at least 3 months of evidence. Brett Mason, 10 News.
First, a jury has heard startling allegations that baby Tegan Lane might have been buried at the Homebush Olympic site.
Prosecutors allege water polo champion Kelly Lane used a fire escape to slip out of hospital with the newborn and then murdered her.
While Kelly Lane dodged the media outside the Supreme Court, inside jurors heard of her many lies and many motives for murder. It's alleged the water polo star had secretly sought to have her baby induced early at Ryde Hospital 3 times in September 1996, before eventually giving birth at Auburn Hospital. The Crown prosecutor told the court Lane secretly slipped out through a fire escape and just 3 hours later was here at a friend's wedding. The accused was in a dire dilemma. She needed a permanent solution that would ensure her family and friends would never find out about this baby. It's alleged that Lane drove from hospital and murdered Tegan somewhere isolated nearby, possibly at the Homebush Olympic site, which was under construction. Despite extensive searches, her body has never been recovered. We don't know how or when the accused killed Tegan or how she disposed of her. Tegan's existence was only discovered by accident 3 years later, when Lane made the mistake of returning to Ryde Hospital, where DOCS workers uncovered medical records of her earlier pregnancy and called police. The Crown prosecutor said that Kelly Lane had told officers a myriad of lies as they searched for missing baby Tegan. At first, she denied her daughter had ever existed and then claimed that she had been adopted out to a family in Perth. Her third and final story is that Tegan is alive and well, living with her father, Andrew Norris, a man police believe doesn't exist. Jurors will tomorrow hear Kelly Lane's side of the story when her legal team opens their defence. Brett Mason, 10 News.
It's a fight from start to finish. The Crown and the defence are mortal enemies in court. It's adversarial. It's a fight to the death.
Because if the gun goes out, then I think that the Crown would probably have to go away and reconsider its case. My function in this trial is to ensure that whatever evidence does go before the jury, it is admissible and does accord or comply with the rules of evidence.
What we really have here in this trial is 3 trials taking place all at the same time. We have a trial in relation to count 1, a trial in relation to count 2 and a trial in relation to count 3. And what that means, members of the jury, is that the fact that you might reach a particular verdict on one count does not mean that you automatically reach the same verdict on the other counts.
It is, in effect, a contest between the prosecution and the accused, but it's a contest about ultimately one issue and one issue only. Has the prosecution proved the guilt of the accused beyond reasonable doubt?
Yes, Mr. Crown.
Thank you, Your Honour. I would ask that the officer distribute copies of the indictment for each of the jurors. It's part of the tension, to a certain extent, about being a prosecutor, that you have a story to sell and a position to put. which is the case, Mr Magyar's case. For Mr Paul Magyar, the principal, but not only witness in this case, Friday the 19th of May 2006 was a bad day. He attended a funeral and a wake of a friend of his in the Singleton area, and later in the evening the accused man presented a pistol, firearm, to him in the toilets at the Caledonian Hotel in Singleton. This trial is about that afternoon, rather that specific evening in his life. He's what's called in legal terms the complainant, the person who makes the allegation.
Thank you.